It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between NFC South rivals. It's the Bucs and the Dirty Birds, and it's coming up next.
A dazzling facility located here in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, to get this one going. And we're underway in Atlanta. Here's a return from the 7. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. So here come the Buccaneers, ready for their opening drive. They are brought out by a former #1 pick who always plays with energy and passion, Baker Mayfield.
There's just certain quarterbacks, the way they run on the field. You just say their name and just some adjectives and attributes pop up right away. For Baker Mayfield, scrappy, tough, a will to win. I'm not surprised at all to see himself back in the starting role. Not surprised at all to see him flourish. The dude is mentally tough, he's mentally strong, and he typically makes the most of his opportunities.
They're going to throw. First play with Mayfield. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Kate, we're one snap in, and already this defense has potentially killed this opening drive. And remember how valuable every possession is in the NFL. Talk about setting an immediate tone by this defense.
Let's see what they dial up on a second and very long. They'll send him over right. Another try following the sack. He finds the rookie from Ohio State. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They put a receiver in motion here left. Baker now from the gun. Hauled in by Godwin. And he gets it through the midfield stripe and onto the Falcons side of the field.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Mayfield now from the gun. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
So many coaches love third downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game or already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these third downs.
Here's Riley Dixon on now for the punt on 4th down. And that hit at the 5, but got the bounce it needed to reach the end zone for a touchback. So out head the Falcons for their first possession. And leading them out is a master at overcoming adversity before and after being drafted 8th overall in 2024. Out of your alma mater, Washington, it's Michael Penix Jr.
One of the big advantages of Michael Penix coming into the league is it wasn't storybook in college. In fact, he got beat up in Bloomington. Everybody remembers the end at Washington, the runner-up for the Heisman, the national title game, but he took a beating. Injuries derailed many of his years back at Indiana. And I think because of that background, because of all that gets built through that adversity, he's more than ready for everything that comes his way in the NFL. That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. He'll get this complete to Mooney. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. He only finds a window for 2, but that's still enough for a first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
First and 10 now from the 30. Penix here from the gun. Couldn't connect there, incomplete. That throw intended for Drake London. And now it's second down.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you, you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. And again, it's Penix. Into the hands of Pitts. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Falcons will have a first.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
First and 10 from the 41. They'll run it here with Bijan Robinson. And they're going to get him down just shy of midfield. Still a nice gain, though, up to the 49. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be second and 1.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Throwing the out route complete. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I'm sure, Coach, a play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They've got to like how they've been moving it early here. It's down to the opposing 45-yard line. First and 10, a run to Robinson. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Levante David, like so many times in his career, making that tackle. Give him a few yards on that run. It's second and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense, and now, well, now we let the chess match begin, the adjustments begin, because we know pressure leads to sacks, and sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Defense looking to defend the marker on third down. From the shotgun, Penix. And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Punter takes the field on fourth down, and he sends this one flying. And he's brought down before the return gets far. And that punt reaches 50 yards. And the Buccaneers will get set to go on offense. So the Buccaneer offense getting out there for their second drive. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Irving. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Baker out of the pistol. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Man in motion, headed right. 1st down, here's Baker. Catch made by Bucky Irving. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Running right, it's Irving. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Pressure coming. Baker. This finds Evans. Complete. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
Riley Dixon getting set to punt it once again. Got 46 on his first punt, so this one's pushing a little more distance. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And the Falcons will take over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Penix working from the gun. He'll get this complete to Pitts. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They just get the play off. Pitts brings it in. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. So that's 1 quarter gone in a battle of NFC South rivals. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll make our return to Mercedes-Benz Stadium after this. Back for our 2nd quarter. It's Falcons football. They've got a first to begin the frame. Throwing Penix. Hits him on the out route.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Play action. Here's Penix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
I think you know me by now, Kate. I have no problem being aggressive on 2nd and inches. But the problem is the defense was more than ready for it. And now, well, now you're probably putting it in the air again. And those defensive linemen, they're pinning their ears back.
Third down, it's Penix. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
On first down, here's Penix. Finds him over the middle. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 42. Completed over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
They're set up at the 35 now. Robinson on the inside give. And he made the most of his running room on that one, getting it down to the 27. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
From the 27. Short pass caught by his tight end. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
All set up now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. They'll just huck this one into row C, and some lucky fan is going to haul in a heck of a souvenir.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
On 2nd and 10, it's Penix. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. To the air with Penix. Complete beyond the marker. And this is down all the way to the 3. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Robinson presses the goal line. Touchdown, Atlanta. The Falcons get the game's first points here in the 2nd. It's a Bijan Robinson touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset.
Now we'll pause. The officials want to take a good look at this and confirm it was indeed a touchdown. Ooh, it doesn't get much closer than this, Brock. Did that ball in any way break the plane of the end zone?
You know how I like to look at this, Kate? Imagine a plane of glass going from the front end of that end zone straight in the air, and any part of the ball, any part of it just touches the plane of that glass, and this is a touchdown.
The touchdown disappears. He was not able to reach the end zone after all. It's 2nd and goal. Robinson does not score. They not only stop him, they backed him up a couple of yards.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Penix looking to pass. Chased out to his right. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the pressure drives them backwards.
This defense has been trying like mad to do anything to disrupt the rhythm, get the QB off his spot. It's got to be a massive relief to see their efforts paid off on that play.
So now on 4th down, the Falcons electing to send Young Hui Koo out for the field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash. The kick by Lutz is good. And they're on the board.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Out to kick it away, here's Pinion. Tucker now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Here come the Bucs on offense now. And coming off our first points of the ball game, they're going to take over now trailing 3-zip. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Tight end going in motion here. Mayfield on 1st and 10. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time, well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. They send a tight end in motion. Shotgun handoff to Irving. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mayfield. He's on the move. He's running for it. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Running back sent in motion. Short pass brought in. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
As a quarterback, when you have an out route versus man coverage, you're just hoping and just praying your offensive guy could turn the hips of that defender. And once you see that, you got to cut it loose and let it go, just as they did right there.
It's the 2-minute warning now from Atlanta. And it's the Buccaneers who have 2nd and 4. Evans, the motion man here. 2nd and 4. Completes this one to Otten. And this one doesn't go far.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up. Throwing now, 3rd and 2. That's caught for the first. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
1st and 10, it's Mayfield. Forced out to his right. He takes it himself. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the first down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. That pass complete to Irving. Will score. It's a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers get some late points and the lead. Well, Brock, I think you and I both saw that one coming together from up here, and it became clear pretty quickly that if they got things going, that one could go the distance.
Yeah, the 6 points earned on any screen pass touchdown. I'd give half a point to the sell job of a quarterback, half a point to the effort of the running back, but 5 of those points to the big guys in front of them. They're the most important ones out there on that play, and in the best of times, they clear lane for a touchdown just like that one.
McLaughlin tacks on the extra point. And the Buccaneers take a 4-point lead. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flight. Here's Jamal Agnew on the return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Falcons with the football late in the first half. And normally they'd need this out, Brock, but facing such a small deficit, good chance they try to get a field goal here before the break. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Penix here from the gun. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. From the shotgun, Penix. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down. Here's Robinson up the middle. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They'll punt it away again. Bradley Pinion headed back out. Trey Palmer on the return for the Buccaneers. And he'll have this fair catch right along the 25. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And hardly any time remaining for them in this game. And even 20 seconds left at their disposal on the final drive of this half. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he works his way for a gain of 4. We've reached the break. The Bucs visitors, but fighting out to an early advantage. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. McLaughlin has it on the team, and he's ready to send this flight. Here's Agnew on the return. And look at this return. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. The Falcons offense now with the football first to begin quarter number 3. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair.
Well, that's exactly the way you want to come out of the locker room to begin the second half. And really, Kate, this third phase of the game, the special teams, you just see the boost and the energy they can give to their team when they deliver a nice return to start this second half.
Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. He'll cobble together a yard there. Hassan Reddick cleaning up that play. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Penix working from the gun. Rolling left, buying some time. He loses the football. And this is going to stay with the offense as he makes the recovery. That's a pickup of 9. And the Falcons will have a first.
We all saw the brief moment of full-on panic between the ball coming out and him getting back on it. The impressive part is he kept his composure while it was still loose. One mistake didn't become 2, and he cleaned it up before any defenders could.
Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. up to make that play. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Here's a counter give to Robinson. And he takes it past midfield and starts the drive into Buccaneers territory. A solid 8-yard gain there, and now they're going to have 3rd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
3rd and just 2 to go. Another carry for Robinson. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. This one goes for 3 yards. And it's good for an Atlanta first down.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there, making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 22 on that one. And the Falcons will have a first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bijan. And he's brought down after getting this to the 17 into the red zone. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. From the 17. Has it down close. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stopped at the 2. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Still a couple of shots at this one. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react.
And he's in for the touchdown. The Falcons take the lead right away in half number 2. Michael Penix Jr., the touchdown. Wow, Brock, hard to imagine a more effective play in their entire playbook for that particular spot right there.
You know, you get in this red zone, Kate, you want the ball in the hands of the guys you do trust the most to score. In a lot of cases, well, you trust your quarterback, and all he did was add to that trust.
Extra point by Koo is up and good. And the Falcons push their lead to 3. To kick it away, here's Pinion. Tucker now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. Now the Buccaneers set to take the field. They find themselves trailing after the opening drive touchdown, and heck, it really set up to be an entertaining second half if they're able to answer here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Irvin here from the gun. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. David Onyemata there for the stop.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, it's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Mayfield now from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Hits him on the out route. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Same as a touchback here. Fair catch made at the 20. The Falcons and running back Bijan Robinson getting set to begin another drive. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the second half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every first down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Penix on first down. That one's complete to London. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Penix now. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
On first down, here's Penix. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
On second down, Robinson. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. The Buccaneers add another DB. 3rd down coming up. Here's Penix. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
There was almost no resistance offered against a rush that came off the line ready to maul anything in sight. It was all the QB could do to get rid of that before he gets absolutely clobbered.
The Falcons getting ready for the punt. It'll be Bradley Pinion doing the honors. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. Brings it in at the 12. And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. 58 yards on the punt there. And the Bucs will be backed up pretty deep to start this drive. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Receiver in motion, headed right. First down, here's Baker. Complete out to the right. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Baker now from the gun. Fits it through the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. He'll move the sticks after ripping off a gain of 28.
Not met many receivers in my life that don't love the spotlight, but you got to earn your place there. The easy way to do it, catches just like that, going up into double coverage and making the play anyway.
Irving on the inside give. Pushing for the red zone. And he's going to haul it in for the Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers take a lead just before the end of the 3rd. Well, Brock started small at first, but then he found that lane, and it was a race to the end zone from that point on.
And it takes a little bit of everybody. How many times do we hear these coaches tell us, if you're going to get a run play for a big gain, it takes the whole group. All 10 of them around him have to do their job. Got to block up front. Receivers got to block on the perimeter. They all get it done, and a big chunk run follows.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers take a 4-point lead. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. On the return, here's Ray McLeod. Good looking return here, and he's got room. This return makes it up to the 37 as he's tackled. Here's Atlanta ready to take over possession. Now their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. The Falcons in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Penix. No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Here's Penix to throw. Quick slant into the hands of Pitts. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. They get an even 10 on that play. And it's good for an Atlanta 1st down. A touchdown aside in that frame as we run out of time in the 3rd quarter. It's Falcons football. A nice little help for them as they trail entering the quarter. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. A handoff for Robinson, running right. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. To the air with Penix. Pitts brings it in. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
And for the Buccaneers, it's a nickel look. 3rd down coming. They send the tight end in motion. 3rd down, it's Penix. Catch is made down the right sideline. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. They go play action. Here's Penix. Bails out of the pocket quick. He tucks it and takes off.
He made something out of that play for them. Everyone's so concerned with defending the pass, they didn't quite keep tabs on what he was doing as a QB, and it gave him just enough room to run.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Now we're on with Robinson, and he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
3rd down give to Robinson. And that run very short, only getting to the 27. Give him a couple on the run, but that run accomplishes little. It's 4th down. Trying for it with Penix. He finds him beyond the marker. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. That's a gain of 10, and staring at a turnover on downs, Brock, they pick up the first instead.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
First and 10, around to Robinson. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He'll get this complete to Pitts. And he gets this forward to the 19.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Penix here from the gun. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. No luck finding his receiver that time. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
Going right side, Robinson with it. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. Only 2 yards on that carry. They're left with 4th and 10. Younghoe Koo out for the field goal. Pressure hanging over this kick. It's a 34-yarder from that right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they cut it down to within a field goal.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. This return starts at the 5. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Buccaneer offense back out for another series. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's the give to Irving. And he's brought down after a short gain. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, Mayfield. And that's incomplete, and he's happy to have that one fall compared to, well, the alternative. Looked like it was going to be picked there.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Down. Looking to throw. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. It's a 54-yard punt that time. And they'll get ready to go on offense. The Falcons in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Penix has him on the quick hitter. And he's able to cross midfield before going out.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts, but throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
Here's 2nd and 2. Short pass brought in. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a 1st down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Penix working from the gun. Into the hands of Pitts. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
And again, it's Penix. Put the body on the line for his team. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. On the give, here's Robinson. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss. The Buccaneers add another DB. 3rd down coming up. Throwing now. Caught for big yards on the right side. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Robinson on the inside give. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. That timeout taken by the Buccaneers, and that's their final one. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Setting up to pass. That's incomplete left side.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you've got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. A run here with Robinson. And they'll stop him after a short gain to the 13. Still well short after the 3-yard run. It's going to be 4th down and 6. Younghoe Koo out for the field goal. Pressure hanging over this kick. This only a chip shot from the right hash. That one is good! And they're going to take the lead inside the final minute.
You know what I love about that, Kate? He didn't shrink from the spotlight. He seized the moment, made it his own. And that kick might just win them this game.
To kick it away, here's Pinion. That's going to be taken in at the 8. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Tampa Bay are ready to head out to the field. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. First and 10 now from the 30. Here he is to throw. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down. He'll look to throw it. That one's cut along the left sideline. They get 28 out of that play. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Time not on their side here as they get set for 1st down. No timeouts remaining either. Back to throw. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down. Baker throwing again. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. So the Falcons defend their building and take the win at home. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. A well-earned win for the Falcons as we say goodbye from Atlanta.